All right, everybody, good evening. This is Dr. Chef. Welcome to Dr. Chef's Crypto. And this is our new CSW series, Cash, Stash, and Worth, Personal Financial Analysis. This is a series where we've expanded past the realm of crypto into other financial discussions, personal wealth, wealth building, how it all works. And today's episode 2 is The Banks Are Broken. And that is an unfortunate but true story. Before we jump into that, as always, my caveat, I'm not a personal financial advisor. This is not personal financial advice. This is personal financial analysis, education. This is training, education, entertainment about those concepts. Should not be misconstrued as personal financial advice. I'm not your personal professional advisor. Now, let's get into it. We're going to talk about these banks and how this situation works for about the next 10 minutes or so. And let's reiterate cash, stash, and worth. That's the backbone of this series, and it's a way to think about your position, your wealth position, your income, your properties, your worth. Your wealth position is described as CSW, and it's a number, and it's 3 numbers back to back, and it represents the cash. You can grab it any minute, the stash you can pull if you had to in an emergency, and your grand total worth. These are very different numbers, and they tend to follow each other by a digit. It tends to work like that. It might not in your particular case. Maybe you're a 4, 4.5, 5, or something like that, but in general, it's a 4, 5, 6, or a 2, 3, 4, or 7, 8, 9. And the way that works is the cash is what you can get with no problem. It's not going to affect you. It's not going to affect your lifestyle. You're not going to endanger any bills you have or anything like that. You're not going to change your credit score, do anything weird. Just grab some cash. If that number is $2,000, if you can get $2,000 cash anytime you want it, it's no big deal. Want to go to Vegas, put $2,000 on black, it's not going to kill you. Okay, that is a 4-digit cash position. Now, normally that would mean that your stash is going to be in the double digits. Maybe it's 50, maybe it's 70 or 80. It's usually not 100 plus, but it might be. It might be if you're really good at savings. And if you're really good at savings, you're definitely going to want to track this video hard. But normally that's the stash number, which is what I can get in an emergency. This is what we used to call savings. This is my pulling out of different accounts. I might have a 401k over here, or some kind of other accounts over there, some kind of insurance policy that builds wealth. And I might have all these things I can pull on, and I might be able to pull $100,000 out if I have to, and that number right there would be a 6. That would make me a 5, 6, 7. So typically, if you can grab 1,000 or 2,000 and it was not a big deal, that's a 4, and that means usually your stash in your checking account, savings account, something like that, might be 50 or 70, and then maybe less, maybe more, but then that would mean that your net worth, your total worth of all your stuff is probably 6 digits. Maybe you have a $350,000 house and a $50,000 truck and a boat, whatever it is, but maybe you're worth $400,000 or $500,000. This makes you a 4, 5, 6. And a 4, 5, 6 is the normal sort of upper middle class American. That's what most people that are doing pretty well for themselves, that have good jobs, that have nice houses and cars, this is pretty much where they're sitting, give or take. They might be a 4, 5, 6. And of course the goal of a 4, 5, 6 is to be a 5, 6, 7, and etc., etc., etc. A goal of a 7, 8, 9, and that's a pretty amazing person. If I can get 7 digits out anytime I want in cash, I am a rock star, powerhouse, baller. And if I can do that, then of course my goal as a 7, 8, 9 is to be an 8, 9, 10. Yes, of course it is. So that's how it always works. And this is how you can track it. Now, let's talk about the banking situation. I hope you know this, and if you happen to be sitting on, 20, 50, 100, 200, $500,000 in savings, I hope that there's not actually sitting in savings. There's a problem. The problem is that the training that we've received is wrong. So first of all, there's Dave Ramsey, and I love him, and he's wonderful. And Dave Ramsey and all of those guys that are teaching how to get out of debt and how to do all that stuff, You've got to remember they're talking to young people, they're talking to people that don't know much about money, they're talking to people that have misused their debt and are putting themselves in a position. This is not people that are clean from debt. This is not people that are building wealth. Their advice, Dave Ramsey and others' advice, does not apply to people that are successful and have some wealth. Once you get that, you have to start moving things around, and debt's going to be a really good way to do that. You're going to want debt. Being debt-free means that you're, on the lower end of middle class. It's not a goal. It's a goal for college kids. It's a goal for 20-somethings. It's not a goal for wealth building. Okay? Wealth building is a whole different subject, and it goes beyond that training. We've also been, unfortunately, trained to put everything in savings. And your parents have told you this, your grandparents have told you this, your teachers have told you this. And the reason they told you that is because years ago, savings worked. Years ago, savings got you several percentage points, even 10%. You got 5-10% back on it. It was an actual thing to do. You could save money in a savings account in a bank, and then it would work. You would gain money on that. You would have a safe place for your money through the FDIC and other liquidity pools involving the banks. But now it's all a sham. It's completely broken. If everybody went to get their money, they couldn't. The banks are not liquid. The dollar is not backed by gold, and there is no defense system for the banks. If everybody goes and makes a run on the banks, you can't get your money. Right now, they're using your money for whatever they want, and you're paying them to do that. And you're paying them a pretty penny. You're being robbed every day. You need to think about banks not as a safe place, but you need to think about banks as a holdup, as being mugged. You need to feel the same about walking into a bank as you feel about being mugged, because that's what's happening to you. I'm not making this up, and I'm not exaggerating. Go look at the numbers. Right now, you're making 0.01. That's not even 0.1%. You're making 0.001% interest. You might be making 0.05, which is like one of the maximum savings account rates in America. You might even, my goodness, you know what I mean, be making 0.001%. I mean, this is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, it's like being robbed. It's literally horrific. If you gave all your money to a friend to carry around, it's the same basic thing. There is no... Okay, if you're not making what interest, your interest, if that is not equal to or surpassing inflation, then you're losing money. If you're not making 10% right now on your stash, then you are losing money. If you're making 7, you're probably going to survive. I'm not mad at you if you're making 7, but I mean, to be honest with you, you need to be making a whole lot more than that. So I don't know what to say about all that. It makes me sad. It makes me worried. It doesn't connect any of the dots for anything to our lives. We've all been trained incorrectly. We all think that what we need to do is get a big savings account, and that's completely incorrect. And we've all been trained that getting out of debt's a really great thing, and it's a big move to that's what you want to do. You've been trained to be debt-free with a large savings. That's ludicrous. That's like burning a pile of money. I'm going to explain more as we go forward, but the point of this discussion is the banks are broken. They used to work. It was a good idea. They used to protect your money. They used to give you a reasonable return. Now your fees are probably 10 to 1,000 times higher than you're receiving in interest. You're being mugged, you're being robbed every single day. You're losing money hand over fist. You might as well burn piles of money. If you have $1 million, if you are a 6, 7, 8, and you have 7 digits of stash, and you're a real millionaire. But you won't be for long if you don't figure this stuff out. If you don't figure out how to protect that through investments, through online crypto style savings, staking of crypto, real estate, gold. If you don't do something with your money besides let it sit there and rot in a bank in savings that you think is safe, that you think you're making interest on, you are losing money faster than you can even imagine. Just do the math. Go look up. Don't believe me. Do your own research. Go look up interest rates at your bank. Figure out what they are. Go look up the inflation rate. Figure out what it is. Subtract your interest from the inflation rate. That's the percentage that you're losing right now. Very simple. Just do that simple math. And then take that number, whatever you're losing right now, and you need to be making over that in interest. In return, you need to be making over that, right? So that is what needs to be happening. If that is not happening, then you need to address that. This is CSW. This is about your cash, your stash, and your worth. This is a personal financial analysis series. This is episode 2. The banks are broken. You need to address this situation in your life. You need to get your money out of banks or do something to add to the money through investments, through some type of savings that has a high interest. You need to figure something out so that you're not losing your money all the time. You just stop running everything through banks. Stop paying all the fees. Stop doing what they told you to do as a child before they knew anything about the 21st century. When you were a child, they didn't know anything about the 21st century. And what they didn't know is that the banks will be broken and that it doesn't work like it's supposed to work anymore. It doesn't work like it worked for your grandparents. It doesn't work like it worked for your parents. You need to get on top of it before you lose it. So that is a little bit of education about how banks work right now. It's a sad story, but there are alternatives. There's a lot of investment opportunities. There's a lot of online savings opportunities, interest-bearing accounts everywhere. There's a lot of ways to fix this problem, but please fix it. All right, Dr. Chef's Crypto, signing out for tonight. Go protect yourself. Nobody's coming. You've got to protect yourself. All right. Thanks. Have a good night.